Hi, little Isaac. Grandma Suzanne here. It's a beautiful, sunny, not too hot day. Um, it's about 7:30. The chickens woke me up about 6:40. I went to bed late again, but I was hoping for a later wake up. But they were very anxious to get outside. And what I'm observing is that you know how we have that tomato steak in the corner that's like a roost? They are all on that, and I think they would like more of them because they just sit and watch outside the pen. Sitting on that is beautiful. You'll see that soon. But right now, you'll see a certain little munchie if I can position this right. She loves this spot because there's two bird feeders up there, and the whole backyard is visible. And there's lots of bird activity in the morning. Um, and hopefully no squirrel activity yet. Um, okay, so we were reading yesterday that really good math book on big numbers, millions, billions, and trillions. But I think I may wait before I finish that, the part two of it, because it would be neat to figure out some of the things ourselves. For example, like when they said, how long would it take to count to a million? It would be fun to do that figuring ourselves. We did that when I was with my math teacher in fifth and sixth grade, the lady that I had for that. And it was really fun to realize that you could figure out things that seemed impossible to figure out. Um, okay, so that leaves us with the question as to what to read now. Well, one of the ones that I think we read, but I think you might have been asleep when we read it, so I'll do it again before I return this book, is called Rain Play by Cynthia Cotton, illustrated by Javaka Steptoe. And this is an interesting book. You remember yesterday we read one, The Cow That Clucked, that those beautiful uh, sort of paintings on each page. On each page was made of um, on cloth with handmade stencils and squeeze tubes of paint or something. It seemed intriguing, and the pictures were beautiful, and it seemed like a lot of labor to do that, to cut the stencil and then do it. And I guess then the way the edges sort of blended, it was beautiful. It's amazing the artwork that goes into every one of these books. Even the ones that have very simple drawings, like they are really carefully done. I mean, I'm just going to hold up, just randomly open, like that's a Dr. Seuss one. Um, I don't know if this is him illustrating or not. Well, it does look like it. But look at, not many lines, not many colors, but you sure get a feel for it. Here's another one. Different way, different kind of artwork. Her face is just a round circle with two round circles for eyes, a little nose, and a wisp of a mouth. And her hair is just lines. But you really do get a picture of what they're doing. I love how that happens. And then there's this one, the infamous Eloise. And this is pen and ink with a little bit of one color. I love it. I really love this. We'll make our own books one day. And then this is a book that tells um, its story with pictures, photographs. I mean, this is the book on cats, and that is a mother tabby cat with all her little kittens lined up along her body, getting milk from their mom. And this is a picture of a little kitten that's just recently been born. The eyes are closed. She's still wet, and there's her mom. So some books tell their stories with words and pictures, and a lot of children's books do drawings and paintings. And some of them, like this, have a certain style from a different country. This is from The Cricket's Cage, a Chinese folktale. And you see the Chinese art, and then some books, you notice, have a border around them, a very elaborate border around each page. We've read in the books from other lands, we've seen lots of different kinds of artwork. These have a frame of art around each, and then the ones by Jan, what was the last name? Stevens? No. How, like we read the book about the turtle, that Mossy, that grew garden on its back, and another one, and she has elaborate, the actual drawing is elaborate, and then the frame around it, each page is different. And in that book, each page was almost like a biological renderings of butterflies, plants, wildflowers. It was beautiful. It's so much work. And then in one frame would be a window, like you'd have the drawing itself that was telling the story of that page or illustrating the story of that page. And then along the border, there would be one that was a window into parts of it, which meant that much more work and drawings. So some people get up in the morning and they go to their studio and they start doing artwork for hours and hours, day after day after day, to make these beautiful books that we just go to the library, give the librarian our card, and check it out and take it home. It's beautiful. This is another one, different kind of drawings. These are simpler, but still, look at how much they show in just a little bit. I mean, normally a little black dot is not what our eyes look like. I mean, look at my eyes and look at those. It's quite a bit different. And when you take an art class and you learn how to draw an eye, it's very elaborate. There's a lot of parts to it. But this, they use just a dot, and the mouth is just a line, and the nose, but you still get a whole feel for a child. You even get a sense of what they're feeling, what the expression is, what they're doing, what they're thinking, and just a few colors. And I'm a gardener, and I'll tell you, that's not only seedlings, I can tell you what kind of seedlings those are. Those are tomato seedlings. And they did that just with a little bit of a line and a little bit of another line. I hope I'm right. Let me look more closely. I'm wrong. It's tomato seedlings leaves are a little bit thinner. So this could be, plus, I don't know if you knew this, but the first two leaves of any seedling are very similar, plant to plant. And then the next set, so a lot of times they'll tell you to transplant after the first true set of leaves appear, they call it. So anyway, but the point is how you could tell almost what kind of seedlings it is, just from these little wisps of things. I love how they do that. Writers do that, where you'll take just a little bit and convey a bigger picture from just a little bit of what you chose to show. And that's what they do there in that. Here's another one. Look at this one. Oh, this is fun. I'm just randomly opening to pages, but I love these, how you'll get a lot of detail, but also not that much. It's not overwhelming. And then the people are a bit caricatured, and yet you get a real feel for them. And also the way the backgrounds are a bit more uh, not as colorful, and the front, they use color with meaning. Um, we've read some books where there's very little color, it's all black and white, and which means it's beautiful pen and ink drawings. And then there'll be just a color around a key part of the picture. There was one book we read about, oh, what was the title? The little boy that would go outside and at night and just watch the woods, and he was afraid of the woods, and then he built a snowman. I think it was the snowman to keep him company, so he wasn't as afraid when he'd sit and watch the woods. I think that was one where everything was black and white except for the snowman or him or something like that. It was really, really well done. Oh, and the one about Olivia the pig and how that was almost so well done. They were almost like photographs, but they weren't, because there's no photograph of a pig in a barker suit or the master of ceremonies at a circus taking a bow. With that's not happened. So it was a drawing, really well done. But was that the one where the room was just, again, just very little color, and the one big thing was the poster of Eleanor Roosevelt on the wall in this pig's room? It was brilliant. It was just brilliant. It was so evocative. It said so much. It's a pig who's got a lot of confidence, and she's telling this giant fib in her class about what she did on vacation, that she saved the circus because everybody was out with an ear infection, which is so cute because kids don't know from diseases that might keep parents or keep adults home. She just knows hearing all the time about ear infections in little kids. So she says, well, the circus, everybody was home on ear infection, so I had to save the day. So you have this arrogant, confident in the extremes, imaginative little piglet talking to her class, and her suspicious teacher saying, did that really happen, dear? And then at her home, I might be mixing up books, but I don't think so, is this poster of Eleanor Roosevelt, one of the most, hi Munchie, did you come for this discourse? One of the most level-headed, bright, hardworking, no flourish. She was derided for her absence of flourish, but she was so substantive, and she did so much that people don't even know about for civil rights, for so many issues and causes, poverty reduction, all kinds of things. And that's the poster that Olivia the pig has on her wall. It's brilliant. You see this whole other side to this character from that one thing. And in the drawing of the room, that drawing gets prominence by the way the absence of color in other places and the extent of the detail in that place. It's brilliant. I love these books. It's like an adventure for me. Have you noticed that this is my like reward after I do the other things that I do or take a break from the garden? And I've talked nearly 15 minutes just showing you pictures from books. Here's another one. This is another style. This looks like this is an African folk tale, and the drawings are African, and the style is African, and the border is its own distinctive way. And even up here, you see the way they've done color and then just black and white up here. and color here. It's beautiful. I love this. So I was building up. Oh, one more here. This is the Bear Books, and it's got watercolor wash for the color. And again, just simple lines convey a lot. Convey the kind of bathtub, just a few lines to it. And then, oh, I missed this one. This is another math book, and really colorful. Oh, there's answers at the back. That's cool. But look how they've done it with bold colors. See, no gradation, just one color, one color, one color, one color. That's a different. And the same with the strawberry. Most people would do a strawberry with shadings. They have a little bit of that here, but of course they're doing it so that you can count them. I mean, that's important in this book where there's lots of math sort of puzzles and questions. But the artwork, it went off. I have to get it back on. And we were also talking about how this one conveyed big quantities or big distances. Whoops. Anyway, but finally, the one we're about to read on the next video is called Rain Play, and the way it does art is really interesting because these aren't drawings. I think this is paper and cutout paper sort of pasted on top of it. You see it sort of in these pictures. Anyway, I tell you, it's like a trip to the art gallery, going to the children's section of the library, or just opening the books that we brought home. Okay, little guy, I love you so much. We'll be seeing so many more books and so many more pictures and so much more different kinds of artwork that people worked on in their studios for a very long time to put in the books that we get to bring home for free and just enjoy for weeks and weeks and weeks and take it back, and then other people enjoy it for weeks and weeks and weeks, and then we go back and get the ones we like again. Okay, little guy. Oh, and by the way, you and I are going to have our own little studio and make our own artwork for our own books. Okay? Okay. Have a great day, my little guy. I love you so much. Bye-bye.